The start of the season proper then. Paris-Nice, a big day each year in cycling. A great start, some of the world's biggest stars turning up. Biniam Girmay, Jonas Vingegaard and the rest were in town. Just to the west of Paris, the Yvelines region hosting the 171-kilometre opening stage between Achères and Carrières-sous-Poissy. A couple of laps of a tough finishing circuit. Could the sprinters hold on? With almost 2,000 metres of climbing, it was up in the air. Juan Ayuso turning up to race for Lidl Trek, his first World Tour race as leader of that team. And 6 riders were going to make it difficult for the sprint teams up the road. Jaco Alula really went for it. They put Durbridge and Gamper in the break. Casper Pearson was there for Soudal-QuickStep. Max Walker for EF Education Easy Post, one of the teams without a win so far this season. Mathis Lebert was trying to fight for King of the Mountains points, and Sébastien Grignard couldn't make it. Casper Pearson would take the lead in that competition. That despite the best efforts of the Frenchman Lebert. They wouldn't get more than a minute and a half of a gap. The 6 riders from 6 nations representing 5 teams on a fast day. First hour ridden at over 47 kilometres per hour. That speed would continue up throughout the rest of the day. But you'd expect the sprint teams to really work hard to bring things back. The gap was still at a minute and a half, though, with just under 30 Ks remaining. And a real lack of commitment from most sprint teams up until that point. This Paris-Nice not having too much for the sprinters, but NSN would try for Biniam. Job well done for the 2 in the breakaway, fighting it out for the King of the Mountains points. With 16 kilometres to go, the gap had come down to below than a minute. And an attack on the final climb from Ewen Kostu was well followed by EF. Alex Baudin doing that job for them as some competitors were dropped out the back. Inside 10 kilometres to go, the gap was down to 30 seconds. It was still mainly GC teams chasing. Visma Lease Bike started to take control, wanting to keep Jonas Vingegaard safe and give Axel Zingle an opportunity to open up his legs. Those remaining in the break, 5 of them after Durbridge was dropped on the last climb, were still out with just over 3.5 Ks to go, but they were about to be caught. And the fun would really then start. A tricky run-in with roundabouts, sharp turns, narrowing roads and a slight uphill drag to the finish would all add ingredients to make it more interesting. Inside the final kilometre, there'd be a crash. Thankfully, Lenny Martinez looked okay. Carlos Rodriguez was one of the riders who went down a little further up, but ahead of that, a sprint was about to kick off. In the yellow jersey, Biniam in 5th place. Aulage there, now Kees Bol. Also Jensen Plaurat, who's in the blue. But it is Luc Lampert who's going to be led out. He might be boxed in by his own teammate down the right-hand side. It's Kees Bol who's ready to hit the front. Lampert's going there. Biniam on the left-hand side if he can get through. Oh, he's checked out. Biniam can't get through. They come to the line. It's Luc Lampert who wins. It's the first victory of the season for EF Education Easy Post. Also a first World Tour victory for the American Lamperti. The 23-year-old led out beautifully by Marijn van den Berg. And Lamperti, after transferring over from Soudal-QuickStep, taking a huge leap forward in his career. As well as the victory, with this being the first stage, he would pull on the yellow jersey too. A massive moment for the team. That victory counter moves from 0 to 1. And they are on the way. It was Lamperti, Brat and Aulard on the top 3, with Fretin and Biniam making round the top 5. The yellow jersey then for Lamperti, after the short steep climbs that have become typical of the opening Paris-Nice stage were well negotiated. And a sprint to take it to the line. The next stage should be one for the sprinters. It's the easiest stage on paper of the week, starting in Épon and finishing in Montargis. A return to where Arvid de Klein was the winner last time Paris-Nice visited in 2024. Will the wind blow through the Gâtinais? Well, it isn't forecast to. A reminder to watch with us on TNT Sports and Discovery Plus, as Paris-Nice is live all week.